Good people, what up, what up, what up? It's Sports Roundtable, and we are back in the building. I am your humble host, H.O. from Bankhead, and I got the professor with me back again. He's all knotted up with the glasses on, Mr. Hancock, the sports superhero. What up, Han?
What's up, big homie? What's good with you?
Man, all is well, all is well. Bob said he might join us here pretty soon. So look out for Bob to talk about the Atlanta Braves as the Braves get the sweep today.
Is that right?
Yeah, the Braves got a sweep today. And
Okay.
Mr. Ozuna went deep again.
They must have come back because when I saw it last, they were down 4-2. I think that was in like the
Yeah, they
seventh.
came back to tied and then won in the extra inning.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and as you
Good
can see
business.
when you look at the notes, you notice I said, "Do y'all owe Ozuna an apology?" Notice I
I don't
said
know if I
y'all.
owe him an apology. I just can go by what was said. But hey,
I listen. I already
if he was
apologized to him. So
if he was able to get out of whatever trouble that was, messing with that Caucasian lady, it's all good. So I ain't mad at him. More power to him. I'm not gonna make light of whatever domestic abuse, so we won't do that. But whether I owe him an apology or not, if you think so, I tip my hat. But I'm glad to see that he's flourishing.
well, and we're gonna get to that. So, but I just went ahead and throw that out there. But before we even get started, bro, your boy Tiger Woods played in the Masters this week. He finished 60th. I know you and Bob talked about last week how you kind of felt sorry for how he was limping and doing, and just hate to kind of see him go out this way. Did anything this weekend change your mind about any of that or how you felt last week?
No,
He made the cut for the 25th time.
Yeah, okay. That's when you always talk about the standard, right? Is that the standard for Tiger Woods to make a cut? Nah, not even close. So
it has reverted to, well, if he makes the cut, there may be a chance he playing on Sunday.
Yeah,
with Sunday play.
I mean, he makes the cut, he's playing on Sunday. That's part of it. But the thing about it is him just playing on Sundays is not a Tiger Woods thing. That it may have helped the ratings a little bit, but I'm sure he played so early that part of his round probably wasn't even televised anyway on Masters coverage on the major network. So it didn't matter. But either way, whenever we look at this, like I stated before, it's a sad state of affairs when we see our heroes, or if you want to call them a hero, or people that we admire for what they do in the game of sports, when they don't quite live up to it anymore. It's a bad thing. So sometimes you just gotta know when to say when, man. And he's played this too long, and and dragged this out, and it's done nothing but kind of cast a shadow, if you will, over his major accomplishments and what he's done. I hate to see him look this way, because it's the same thing as I was saying with Mike Tyson. And Tyson, I guess, gonna have his second career as a celebrity fighter or whatever, but that's not the Mike Tyson that we grew up clamoring to see all the time. So it is what it is, man. I hate that Tiger's going out like this, to be honest with
you. And before we even jump into some hot news, Han, I will be remiss, and we would too, to give our flowers and show our flowers to the great O.J. Simpson. Passed away this past week at 76 years old. I know how much he meant to you, and when I heard the news, I called you to check on you to make sure that you don't run off the side of the road or whatever the case may be, because I know how much he meant to you. I know this was your first hero.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
As a kid, this was your first hero. So tell us what OJ meant to you and what he actually meant to football, because I think a lot of people get it twisted. The case and the jail sentence and all this other kind of stuff get overshadowed by what he actually meant to the NFL. So go ahead and tell the listeners what he meant to you and what he meant to football.
Yeah, meaning to football, OJ was a Heisman Trophy winner, no doubt. Now, all his career at USC, I was not familiar with. His stuff that I saw once he was in the NFL. But while with the Buffalo Bills, man, he was pretty much the All-American hero, which kind of worked in his favor. But as we know now, we look at it and say, well, OJ kind of lost touch with the Black community when he reached a certain status. But let's talk the football aspect of it. He was, for some people, he was villainized even as that because he approached Jim Brown's record, record of 1,863 yards, which I think Brown did in 12 years. So when OJ did that mark, he continued on to set the record at 2,003 yards in, I think it was 1973. But people were kind of begrudgingly giving him that title of being the greatest running back. People before me it's kind of like the Michael Jordan, LeBron James syndrome. It was such a divided front on that. And it just seems like that's kind of ironic because that's OJ. OJ was divided in so many different ways when you think about it. Half the community liked him. Well, at first, all the community liked him. Look, man, he was the first athlete, Black athlete that we saw on commercials, man. He was running through airports, jumping luggage as Hertz guy and all that. But all that came from being the, a gridiron great and doing the things he did on the football field, man. But, as he transitioned and moved into the corporate world, it became, I'm not Black, I'm OJ. So in a sense, the Black community kind of turned and shunned him a little bit. Now, what brought him back was his trial. And, it just seemed that this was just like a microcosm of everything when we look at it. I don't want to call it microcosm because it is society. It was Black versus white, and we see it in all aspects. And this decision kind of polarized and just took the nation by storm, maybe the world, if you want to be honest with it. This was the first thing that first time we saw court on television. This was court TV. OJ captivated the nation, man. And everybody, if you're my age, maybe a little younger or whatever, you probably can remember where you were when this verdict came out and how much it meant to the Black community at that time, to be honest with you. We looked at it as a victory, to be honest with you. I mean, I might be talking out of school saying this, but it was a thing for Black people to say, well, we always been ridiculed and faced injustices and whatever, and just for some a Black guy on a national high profile case like this to be found innocent of these crimes, it was looked upon as a historic feat, and it just rang out through our community as finally we got something, we won something. And it's bad to even think about we won something when people's lives were taken in this, whether he did it, whether he was found innocent of it or whatever. It's bad when you think about the families and everybody, the tragedy of this whole situation. So in that respect, I kind of, it makes you cringe when you think about how jubilant we were for him to get off, and then big homie, I can be honest with you. I don't know if he did it or not, and then at that time, most of the Black community didn't care if he did it. Let's just be real. They were like, He just wanted him to be found innocent. But, the evidence was so crazy. You could tell that some of it was tampered with from whatever. Now, and that's two schools of thought. You talk to some people, they say, he was guilty. Then other people say, well, he may have been, but we don't know because the evidence was tampered with. So anyway, just to talk about so many different aspects and variables that go in when you talk about OJ lets you know what a historical figure he is and will always be. So, I think this also came on the heels of the Rodney King situation where it was on video that this man was beat, unmercifully by driving a Hyundai. Big homie, I think at that time when you were young, you probably could outrun a Hyundai, so they chased him like like he was doing something serious, but they beat him on
Right.
television and we saw it. It was film. And they still got off. So, it was just kind of like a perfect storm for the country to be divided, this verdict to come down, and for OJ to be acquitted. It just, like I said, it still shows you the division in this country when he come to race. But anyway, back to OJ. OJ, man, yeah, he was my hero at the time. It's a sad day. My condolences to the family, them losing a father and, whatever he was to them, uncle, whatever he was to whomever he was in that community, in that family. So rest in peace, Juice. Take that white Bronco to the sky, baby. It's all good.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, man, I wanted to make sure that you got a chance to express your condolences and prayers and your heartfelt thoughts about one of your favorite heroes growing up as a kid. And and what he meant to football. And I think a lot of people who has an opinion about this didn't even watch him play.
Yeah.
They never even seen him play.
Right.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you can't help when you was born or whatever the case may be. And only thing you've seen was just highlights and things of that nature.
Right. He was a hell of a
I do have a question. To see Tiger Woods the way that he's lumbering to get to the finish, and to see OJ, I think was the last thing with the 49ers, right?
Yeah, he ended up with the Niners. Yeah,
he ended up with the 49ers. To see that, and to see Emmitt Smith, another one of your guys, in his career in Arizona. I mean, which one was more cringing to you? When
it had to be OJ with me, man, because OJ was, Emmitt played for the Cowboys, so he was a running back on my favorite team. But OJ was my first superstar athlete that I followed, so with that, how it is, your first guy is your guy,
Yeah.
He may not have been the superstar. It just happened to be OJ was my guy. Be honest with you, I don't know why I gravitated to Willie Lanier. He was a linebacker with Kansas City Chiefs, wore number 63. And for some reason, when I was very young, he was one of my favorite players. Played middle linebacker. I had no relationship with that position in my whole life. You understand what I'm saying? But for some reason, he was the guy. But if you're asking about which one of those guys I hated to see do that, OJ was done. Emmitt was pretty much done, but OJ was done due to injuries. Emmitt was done due to Father Time. So he was done that way. But it's a shame to see people that were such stars of those franchises not in their career there. Yeah, it was bad. It's bad on both accounts.
Do you think OJ got his due before he passed away? After all he went through?
OJ was accepted, then shunned, then brought back after the trial, then we kicked him out again, when he started acting a certain way. But then what happened was we felt like he was wronged again by being put in jail for a crime that was basically him getting his own stuff back. It was almost like they did a do-over because they didn't get him the first time. So the Black community, in a sense, said, "This still, y'all, here y'all go. This ain't right. You got all these other people around here doing a whole lot of crime or whatever. You going out to OJ for getting his own stuff back. So he was brought back in, and then, as you know, Mace and Cam were having him on their show periodically. So, OJ was one of those figures that you may not have outwardly rooted for or outwardly wanted things to be right for him, but in a sense, you still had that tie to him, and you kind of hoped that things were right for him. So he played golf and did his thing up until the end of his, to his demise. So it is what it is. Like I said again, rest in peace, OJ.
Yeah, it is. All right, man. Well, we're gonna jump into we got a whole bunch of stuff. We got some hot news coming up. We also got Ballers and Busters and our roundtable discussion. I know you threw me some questions out the other day. And we go use the roundtable discussion to discuss those questions that you had for me. We'll talk about that. And the NBA playoff starts tonight as Philadelphia and Miami are about to tip and gear up and go. And then the Hawks playing they play-in game tonight as well after this first game with Philadelphia and the Heat.
Right.
And definitely got to talk about that. Also, this is no disrespect to baseball because I love my Braves, but the SRT Fun Bag is back this week.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We got to talk SRT Fun Bag, and I think you will enjoy it. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some hot news. The hot news sponsored by Big Easy Grill, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill, the best Louisiana seafood in town. 2 bites, get rid of 1 shrimp. Big Easy Grill, the place to be. Go head over to Big Easy Grill. Once again, 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Let them know Sports Roundtable and SRT sent you. Get the 10% discount on any meals, $25 or more. All right, big homie. The WNBA draft has happened. Now, before this draft started, which was more of a sure thing for you? Was it Caleb going number 1 or Caitlin going number 1?
It was neck and neck, man. Honestly, to me, I thought they both were locks. I can't say which one was the most. I guess in what they're talking about and whatever, still putting it out there that Caleb could go somewhere else, which I don't believe. I guess you'd have to say Caitlin nudged him a little bit with the surefire lock.
All right. With that being said, how do you feel about her going number 1 and looking at her salary? She's going to make $76,000, $76,535 next year as a first-year player as a rookie. Hell, she might as well go work at she might as well come on down there and work at Emory with me.
Yeah, a lot
to me, that's like now you know what the corporate world feels like.
Right. Well, the WNBA is not ever really going to, I don't think, be on par with the pay scale of the NBA. It's just we now in the last couple of years have started to get more eyes on it, with what the Las Vegas Aces were doing and, the New York Liberty, some of the teams, and then the aspect of gambling on it, to be honest with you. Because I watched more WNBA games this past year due to me putting it on Prize Picks, man. And I knew players actually started to follow teams. So, they probably will get a kick, and they'll get a boost now with Caitlin because they're going to get eyes on it, with the popularity of her. And it lets you know how popular she is. She just did Saturday Night Live, and she lost the championship. Not one South Carolina girl was even invited to the audience to sit in. So that's the thing I keep saying. You know what I mean? So let's just be real. And these people aren't stupid. They know where and what, lines their pocket. And she drives the needle right now. But big homie, it's some women like Diana Taurasi and some other folks laying in wait. They are waiting on her. Believe me, when she steps on the court, she's going to be enemy number 1. They going after her, man. You can hear the way Taurasi talking. And I bet you she'll play. If she got a broken ankle, she going to play against Caitlin Clark. She wants that. Because, they look at it kind of like as a slap in the face. It's like, look, we won these titles. We've been doing the things that she did, for years. We won Olympic gold medals. We come back and represent the country. We had to go overseas to play to get any of the notoriety from overseas. And people still over here still don't know us. But you take this one girl out of Iowa and you make her the poster child for the entire sport. Not just, WNBA, but every basketball you can name. She's transcended gender now because we talk about, not we, but the masses and media talk about her not only being the greatest female this or whatever, a woman's basketball player. They just have taken that away and said she's the greatest player, period, greatest shooter ever. greatest college scorer ever. And I'm like, come on, man, let's be real. I know she's done a lot, and it's hard to quantify. If you say something about it, you seem like you're being chauvinistic, or you just, hating on her or whatever. So but like you said, this is the SRT, so we can say and do whatever we want to do, right?
Absolutely. Feel free.
So, I mean,
Please
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say it till the cows come home. It is, she's gonna get pushed like that, and whether she makes 76 there, believe me, off the court endorsements, she's doing fine, big home. She won't ever have to work. She won't ever have to what they raising now? Get out in the wheat field or whatever it is out there. She won't have to worry about that. She can open 4 or 5 farms with the money she gonna make, or has already made. But just to tell you, when you look at this top, I just printed out the top 10. I don't know many of the women on here. I've heard Cameron Brink along with Caitlin Clark. I know Rickea Jackson because she played at Tennessee. Aaliyah Edwards, I remember seeing her play. But that's about it, man. I mean, I don't know these people. So how can she bring this up? You understand what I'm saying? Because you're going to need more than just her. She's not playing one-on-one. So you're going to have some other stars. Luckily, like I said, the Aces and, some other teams on there, and I'm really having trouble with the Lynx and whatever. They have some players the Dallas Wings, I know they have some players I know. So they're going to have to get a following, not only with Caitlin Clark to get this money up, because they're going to need sponsorship. They're going to need people to put commercials on during the game. So it's moving that way. We'll see, but she's going to need some kind of rival. Well, she does have an automatic rival when you look at, Angel Reese playing in Chicago. Believe me, that one will be on television a lot of times whenever they play. Whenever they play, that'll be the national televised game. So
yeah, 36 out of 40 games will be on TV. So, and the other 4 games that's not on national TV probably gonna be on Hulu or some other streaming service somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we'll see her. We'll definitely see her.
Well, what better organization to get drafted to than a basketball town like Indiana?
Yeah, that's true. They love their basketball there, and believe me, she's gonna sell it out.
Yeah.
I hope she stays healthy, and I hope she has a great career, man. To be honest with you, I just know that she's gonna face a lot of women that are gonna come out of this shit. So it'll be interesting. But it's not like she can't play.
Unfair. Is it fair or unfair for?
It's not her fault that she's getting this notoriety and this publicity. It's not her fault that she didn't say, okay, y'all got to do this for me. So I can't say that all of it's fair, but what we always say about the crown, the head is heavy that wears the crown. So she's wearing the crown, that's what comes with it.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. All right, Han. USA men's basketball team has announced their 12-player invitees to to play in the next time they play in the Olympics. LeBron, Steph, all the big names, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, all them, but notably off the list, you have a Dame Lillard, Jalen Brunson, Trae Young. Are you upset, mad, irritated, frustrated, or anything about who didn't make the list?
No, I'm not aided in any way, big homie. Any kind of aided. I'm just, this is probably the last hurrah for some of these guys. When you look at LeBron, you look at KD, you look at Steph, Embiid has changed his whole nationality to play. So you got a mixture of some guys that will probably be able to play. Tatum will probably play in the next group that'll be elevated up to us. So it's a changing of the guard. Steph has never, I don't think, even played in the Olympics, I don't believe. So this gives him a chance to, showcase his talent and get on that stage. But the thing about it is, big homie, we talked about it before. You're throwing a group of guys together that have to gel. And luckily, they've understood this recently, where they play these different, various teams and get ready for the Olympics. They used to just be able to throw guys together and go beat the world. But that all changed when the world started catching up with them. So I think they'll gel when it's all over and said and done. You don't see any lumbering size guys because that's not their game. They spread the floor, and they got a lot of guys on here that can defend. So I think they'll be fine. I think this team it should win gold. I mean, when you look at it, but as I stated before, you're going to be playing against teams that have a lot of cohesiveness, that have played together for years. So it'll be interesting. But no, I'm not upset with the group. I think it's a good group. I don't know. What do you think, Kawhi, though? He's always hurt. Will he even be healthy at that time? That's the thing. So, when he's there, when he plays, he's a beast. But he's always injured. So I don't know, man.
Smitty said, "What's up?" And he said Trey should be on the team.
Who you gonna take off? That's the point. Who you gonna take off?
I don't know. I think Steph off? So who you gonna take off?
Yeah.
Who you gonna take off the team?
You gonna take Steph off? And then nah. You gonna take Jrue Holiday off? No, because he plays defense. Trey don't play no D. So you gotta compensate for that. You gonna take Devin Booker off?
Oh, he said Halliburton.
I don't know, big homie. I don't know if you take Halliburton off for Trey. That's a stretch to me too. I just don't know who you remove. I hear you. It's opinion, and I respect your opinion. Don't get me wrong, Smitty. I just don't know if I would take Halliburton off for him.
Yeah, Trey, he gonna have a hard time making the Hawks team, let alone the Olympic team.
You said that, big homie. You said that.
I mean, let's be real, man. I mean, we'll talk about it. So
yeah,
we ain't gonna even get into it. But hold on. Dad said he heard someone say the team was orchestrated around D, and that's why Trey is not on it.
That's what I mean. I mean, you can't have he and Steph. Steph is not a defensive player either. They're going to hide him and help him. But he probably plays a little bit more D than Trey does, to be honest with you. Let's be real.
Well, he was inconsistently getting Indiana to a what were they 4 seed, 3 seed?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's more inconsistent. I know he got injured, with this having to play certain amount of games to try to get your money crap. I don't think he was able to get healthy after that, because if you remember, leading into that play-in tournament, he was killing. They had no answers for him. And then once he got injured and kept trying to play through it, it kind of wavered a little bit, and his productivity came down. But he was still put up some numbers. What up, Cuz? He was still put up some numbers.
Let's ask Marty. He think Kawhi should be on the Olympic team? What say, Marty? You think Kawhi should be on the Olympic team? I'm sure he has.
They wanted to play on the Clippers team.
So he should be worried more about the Clippers than the Olympic team, right?
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kawhi, man, he can't find him sometimes. Is he going to even play in this first series?
I'm not sure. I hadn't heard. Hadn't done the research.
Yeah, I don't know. Cuz check in, call in, and talk to some people.
Well, Smitty said if healthy, yes, but that was Smitty say.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a doubt about his talent and if he belongs. It's just a point of, is he gonna be healthy enough? That's what scares you with him.
Our next item up to bid is: do y'all owe Marcell Ozuna an apology? Hancock, I got receipts. I apologized to the man last year after hitting 40 home runs, and I had the man. I told him, I told y'all to trade him at least 3 times last year. So I apologize at the end of the season and say, look, my bad. You know, now you go from wanting him traded. Now you want to add 2-3 more years to the deal. You want to extend him 2 or 3 more years. And he leads the league in home runs and RBI. So he has started out banging the ball, and he is playing one. He went deep today.
Yeah.
He had 8 home runs. Let me make sure I got his stats right. 8 home runs, I know. I want to say he got like 24 RBIs.
Yeah, I don't know if I owe him an apology. I think I was wrong about him probably gonna play in the penal league, in the penal farm. So I was wrong about that because I thought he was going to jail. So I'm happy that I thought he was gonna lead the state correctional institute in home run. But he's done his thing, man. He's doing it. So I'm happy for him, like I said. But I just did not think in the state of Georgia with what was coming out that he was going to be allowed to play baseball for the Braves. And for him to get past this and do his thing, you know, it just tells you that, you know, we just have to sit and wait sometimes because we don't know how the judicial system, you know, will rectify the situation. So, or won't rectify.
Which leads me to this. This leads me to this question ahead. Are we as fans too quick to rush to judgment when we don't like something or like the way a player is playing and things of that nature? Because we said that him and John Collins were the same person. We wanted both of them out of Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes we rush to judgment to a fault. I agree. Sometimes we just look at it and say, nah, this ain't it. And I think I was right on John Collins still. But I mean, Ozuna has, I just didn't think that if you're trying to win a title, he's not the guy that you want to say he's one of your big three. So I was like, nah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But it is what it is. But Ozuna, I can admit I was wrong about him probably not being able to play for the Braves again. Whether I wanted him gone or not, I didn't want him gone. I just didn't think he was going to be able to play again. That was my point. I thought he was going to jail, and I thought he'd be blackballed out of Major League Baseball.
That's fair. That is fair. Domestic violence don't play well in Georgia.
Right. Especially
domestic violence don't play well. All right, this was what Smith had to say. Yeah, and I agree. He was definitely on the MVP candidate list the COVID season. But we as Braves fans Twitter was lit up with Ozuna. And do we credit Snit or do we credit AA for sticking with him and helping him play through it and stay and trusted the process? And maybe the fans should have took a better approach or did we put the off-field issues above what he could actually be?
Yeah, like I said, I can't say that I did any of the off-field. I didn't say per se he should be out of here. That wasn't my thing. My thing was I didn't think he was going to get through this situation. That's what made me afraid for him. It wasn't about whether I didn't want him in the lineup because I said, you know, we'll see what he is as far as can he be that power hitter that you needed in the middle of your lineup or, you know, toward the middle bar, later part of your lineup, whatever. So, again, I was not in favor of them getting rid of him. I was just skeptical that he would be available. That's what worried me. So, yeah, as a whole, do you tip your hat to the Braves organization for staying with him? Yeah, tip your hat because they probably helped him be able to get out of some of this mess. You know, if you know the right people and you got the right connections, you can get past some things. So, yeah, I tip my hat to him for staying with him. But like you said, we don't all know the ins and outs. we don't know what part they played in helping them get by this. You understand what I mean? So
Yeah.
it helped the organization, and he's here, and it looks like he's flourishing. There's no protesters out in front of the park that I know of. But if he keeps hitting home runs and keep getting notoriety, believe me, somebody will be out there with a sign talking about what he did or how he got off on something. Believe me, whenever you get past stuff and you get to a level, then the people come out and try to bring you down. So believe me, if it's out there, it'll come back on it. That's the nature of this country.
All right, Smitty, we appreciate it, bro. Yeah, so just to give you some context, Marcell Ozuna, the DH for the Braves, is second in batting average. He's tied for third in hits. He leads the league, National League in home runs with 8. And he leads the National League in RBIs with 23.
Okay.
352, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. And the Braves are 11-5, leading their division. And Ronald Acuna just hit his first home run today.
First home run. Yeah,
so
it's not hitting the long ball, but he's still hitting for average. He was about 299 when I saw this morning. So he's still hitting for decent average. His base stealing has to be down, though, isn't it? Because that's what I was talking about last week. Has he started? What does it look like now as far as on the base pass?
Let me check real quick.
It looks like to me like they're still protecting that leg. Because I know I had seen some situations that I thought he should have taken off and he didn't.
He got 8 stolen bases.
Okay. I wonder what that is compared to his pace last year. Got to check that out.
He's starting to run a little more. He got 8 stolen bases, 1 caught stealing.
Okay.
And he got hit on the knee last night, diving for a ball, or slide and dive for the ball. The ball hit him on the knee, had a bruise, a little such and such. He walked it off and kept it pushing. So,
that's good.
Hey, yeah. All right, speaking of Tiger Woods, let's go ahead and talk about the Masters. Scottie Scheffler, 27-year-old Master winner. This is second. I think this is the second one, right?
Yeah, second green jacket.
Yeah.
Second one in second jacket in 2 years. Yeah.
How do you feel about this young man winning his second jacket? Is he getting enough notoriety, or the cast of the shadow cast of Tiger and all the other golfers has shadowed him a little too wide for people to know who he is, and the hype machine ain't got on him yet?
Well, big homie, let's just be real. We kind of gravitate to things that we can relate to. That's why Tiger was able to bring a lot of black people into golf, even though he didn't classify himself as a black man. When we looked at him on the screen, we saw a black man. So that pulled the whole audience in that really wasn't checking for golf. But in the, we look at Scottie Scheffler, to us, that's just another, for lack of a better term, a fluent white guy out there winning golf tournaments. It doesn't resonate or doesn't hit the same way as Tiger did in our community. We don't really care about Scottie Scheffler. You could ask the average person, who Tiger Woods was or is now, and they can tell you who Tiger is. But I guarantee you the average person doesn't know Scottie Scheffler, even though he's won 2 Masters, which is top, maybe the top golf tournament in the world that we know of. That in the Opens, the US Open and the Open Championship. But still, when we look at it, we're like, he's just a golfer, that doesn't really, transcend to the average person. But yeah, golfers, pro golfers, golf fans know him. And, he's winning. He's kind of dominating right now. He's definitely looked on as the guy. But I think what sets golfers apart when we look at it, they didn't care if they won back in the day. Tiger brought an attitude of, it was important to win. You know, this court, they call it a gentleman's sport because you don't openly root against your competitor. And it might be probably the only sport that you have where you don't hope that they openly say, missed the putt. You know, you're like, oh, great putt, that kind of stuff. It's gentleman's game. But Tiger brought a competitive edge to it. When he came out, he told him, you know, I'm coming out here to kick your butt. I'm not out here to just play. And he brought an air that, and all these younger golfers kind of followed. But they didn't still have the hunger he had. And you could see it in him. I mean, when Jordan Spieth, another golfer that came up, and he was, you know, took the Pro Tour by storm for a minute. And now he's not even good anymore. You know, they kind of fall off where Tiger had this dominance for over 20 years, basically. These guys kind of ebb and flow. So, yeah, it'll never, until they find a guy that kind of transcends both cultures, yeah, golf is kind of fading back, you know, without Tiger in the black community. We don't care. It doesn't matter anymore. I didn't even watch the back nine at Augusta this year. So, you know, once Tiger fell out of whatever contention, my interest left.
Yeah. Well, there your blood commenting on your Tiger Woods thoughts.
You only see comments like that on the SIT, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, hey, maybe it has some. Maybe maybe that has some legs to it. I mean, we can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, that's when he was dominant. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let him be, and let it be. But all right, that's gonna end our roundtable discussion, fellas. And everybody, if y'all got any more comments about Tiger Woods, or what y'all thought of? Did you even think he would make the cut? I mean, but to you said that's not the standard, so it didn't even matter to you. So
it didn't matter. I was, you know, happy that he made the cut. I think he tied for the past for all-time cuts made or whatever, and that's just something else, some other fella he put in his head. I really wanted him to break Jack Nicklaus's all-time major tournament record, but he won't get that. It's going to end, I think, at 15 or 16 that he is. I think he's 15-time major champion. So that's where it'll end. I really wanted him to catch that, but that's not going to happen. So, you know, for whatever it is, we'll give him that and he can move on. Yeah, Tiger was 15-time major champion. So this is just one more accolade he'll have. Always, you know, making cuts.
You watching the Philly game in Miami?
Yeah, you know, I'm on streaming, so I'm a little behind, I'm sure, but I got it at 2020 right now.
Yeah, it's 2020.
Yeah. I think Bam picked up 2 early fouls. I had to go to the bench. I already lost my prize pick bet. I had Jimmy Butler not to get a dunk, and he got 2 or 3 already.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what you had in prize picks tonight.
Yeah, I had Butler less than 0.5 on dunks. Hold on, it's loading again. I tell you, I had a few little 6-man going, but with that down, I might play some with Trey and whatever. And in the second game, I'll probably put something in for that one. It's still loading. I'll let you know what it was once it comes up. But it's still going. Maybe I can get 5 out of 6 and get a little something off of it.
Okay. Oh boy. Your thoughts on the NBA draft coming up with now that the college season is over? This draft could be one of the worst that we've ever seen, and
that's gonna be a recurring thing, big homie.
Yeah, so this is what I heard this week, that the draft is so bad that Reed Sheppard could actually go number 1.
Wow. I'm
I
hearing about
mean,
this other 7-foot Frenchman that they're high on, Alex Sarr. I think Alex Sarr. You seen him?
okay.
Yeah,
I haven't
he's the
seen it,
guy
but
that
I've heard about it.
supposedly. Yeah, he's getting a lot of hype as being a guy that could draw some real good attention. I've seen the highlights on him and watched him. Jimmy just went down, big homie. I don't know how bad, but it don't look good. Yeah, I've seen some highlights on him, and this guy looks like he can play. You know, he's 7'1", but he moves like at least like a guy about 6'8", 6'9". Good, decent jumper, looks good from the wing. Finishes at the rim, block shots. So he's the guy that getting a lot of buzz. So we'll see what happens with him. Another Frenchman. How about that? The French are taking over, man.
I see. And it's crazy.
It is, man. I mean, but it's saying that what's going on, man? Is it that we're not producing basketball players in the United States anymore? Because even when you go down and look at the stars in the NBA now, you know, after LeBron and after KD leave, you know, Booker's getting, you know, on up there a little bit. When you think about the stars, you think about Luka, you're thinking about, you know, Wemby, you're thinking about
Joker.
who else? Shea Gilgeous. All these guys are not from the United States. You know, so what do you think about that, man? How are we losing it because here we're just everybody gets on these AAU teams and they get so many stars that they really don't learn how to play. They just get the best players and go and win these tournaments. I mean, what's going on in your eyes?
I would say this, Han. With that, I don't think we learned how to play basketball. I think a lot of people play basketball, but there's not a lot of guys who know how to play basketball. I mean, simply put, like, I mean, you're a card guy. You know, sometimes you don't want to be partners with somebody in spades because they just know they know how to play cards, but don't know how to actually play spades.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I mean, I think is one of the best compliments that I've heard this year came from LeBron James, and he said that Steph Curry is most dangerous without the ball.
Yeah, because he ain't dangerous with it because he turned it over a lot. God, he is so careless with the basketball, man. Golly, for a guy that be so fundamentally sound, and I know I kind of hijacked your point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. But just watching him in these last couple of games, him turn the ball over the way he did, he cost them the game against New Orleans in the second quarter. He just was, I mean, he was like Oprah, you get a ball, you get a ball. He was turning the ball over unmercifully, you know. And then last night to watch him, there were times where he was just so careless. You know, I think what makes him so great also is a detriment to him. When he talks about irrational confidence, where he will try anything, you know, left-handed pass, not looking. And when he makes them, they're great. But when he turns over the ball in bunches, he really hurts that team. You know, and I think what happened in the past was they had so much offensive firepower and their scheme was so good that they could overcome him, turn the ball over 4 or 5 times. You know, it didn't matter that they used to lead the league almost in turnovers, but they would score and be able to score so much they could cover themselves. Same thing with Tiger when he would make, you know, he just had par saves. But, and I'm kind of mixing metaphor, mixing sports, telling what I see, but they can't cover his mistakes like that anymore. And that's why, you know, they're losing the way they're losing. They still would score, but not able to cover up and play defense the way they were in the past. But go ahead with your point on what LeBron was saying about him moving.
Yeah, he said that Steph Curry is most dangerous when he doesn't have the ball because you have to follow him. And LeBron was like, at times you can't even worry about where the ball is. He will turn his back to the ball just to face guard Steph to make sure that he doesn't get open. And in that takes away his help side, takes away a lot of different things because you're so focused on him running, and then he's running from baseline to baseline, coming off screens, coming off picks and things of that nature, that it's so tiring. He said that, that's big. So
yeah.
And I think that growing up, and Bo Bell talks about it a lot. When you learn how to play basketball on the floor, on the ground, the better you become. I can remember me playing in high school, and when I first went to basketball camp, and one of our coaches had us playing 3-on-3, 5-on-5, where we can only dribble the ball one time. That was it. Anything over 2 dribbles, anything over 1 dribble was a turnover. So it forces you to move without the ball.
Right.
You can't just sit there and pound the ball. You got to get rid of the ball and go do something else. Go set a screen, go build a screen, go do something else. And I think a lot of that, we lose because it's not what we teach. It's not what we...
Right. And that goes back to my point. Yeah, as to getting all the great players on their team in these youth leagues, and they just so athletic, they just beat their man. Like you said about setting the screen. People don't know how to set a screen, and then the person with the ball doesn't know how to set the screen up. He won't even let the screen set to move it.
Right.
They don't know how to use it. So, how many times we seen the block call because the screener didn't get set? Because the guy with the ball won't allow the screen to get set. And the entry pass to the post, where you're trying to enter it from an angle that there's no way to get what did we get taught when we would feed the post? You throw it to the corner of the backboard, right? For the big man, his hand, so he can turn, get to the hoop. All that stuff that's still fundamentally sound is gone. And a lot of it has to do with everybody shooting from the time they come out of the locker room. So it's a different game, true enough, but you still want to have the fundamentals. And that's what Bo Bell was talking about to us a long time ago when he said how overseas the bigs, the guards, whomever did all the same drills. They drilled, they did it all. And we in this country for a long time didn't do that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you what's even more detriment hand is the way that this hype machine is pubbing Caitlin Clark for the one-man band that she has become. Really, just you're taking an individual over a team. So when you start to pub what an individual can do if she's that good, and one person can carry a team instead of a team playing together and winning. This is where we at. We're at a point where we choosing to market a player than salute a whole team. So this is where we at, and this is what we got to see. So how many girls you going to see that's that good saying that as long as I get 25 shots a game, I can carry my team?
Yeah.
Instead of
I think a lot
moving
of
the ball and being a team and playing your role, like South Carolina did. Everybody knew their role. Everybody did what they were supposed to do, and the better team won. So
yeah, and like you saying with that, yeah, her numbers were gaudy, big dog, and you watched her play. But I watched her team play around her too. The other girl that got drafted, I think in the second round, and then the other little guard that they all played together the whole time there. So the chemistry was there. You could see how they played off one another. Now her numbers and what they all pub was her, but those girls, they played as a unit. But she just she could get a shot whenever she wanted. They allow her to do and freelance. It's almost like when we look at what's happening with the Knicks, with Brunson, DiVincenzo, and Hart. It's almost like they understand their roles. They do the dirty work. They do what they need to do. DiVincenzo still shoots a lot when he wants to or whatever, but it was the same way. I watched Iowa play a lot down the stretch and throughout the tournament. And even though her numbers were huge, those girls that she played with set screens, did the things that they needed to get her open, and she found them a lot. Look, she averaged like 9 and 15 assists and a couple. I mean, not average, but she would have 10 assists, 9 assists, or whatever. So she was doing everything, but she would distribute and score. So I had to give her that. She can play. With all the stuff that goes on, she can play. That's South Carolina from last year.
She can play.
She can definitely
no doubt
play.
about it.
So,
but when you look at Sports Center, we don't see the screens.
We don't
and
see
the
that.
passes.
Exactly.
We see
her scoring.
See her scoring, and that's what I'm saying. It's just
right. And I agree. I agree with your point. No doubt.
And I'm like, man, come on. And this is where we at. And then think about it. I mean, so you mean to tell me that all the people that's coming at her, supposedly, Diana and all these women grew up playing, sacrificing their games with other great players. I mean, when you went to UConn, you had to sacrifice something.
Right.
Because you had other 5-star players along with you to sacrifice. Now, sometimes you stood out just a little bit because of your talent and your shooting, but it was still a team effort.
True.
When Tennessee was on their hot streak and things of that nature, all these was team efforts. Yeah, you had a lead dog or whatever the case may be, but when you saw Sports Center, when you saw the highlights, you saw team basketball. You saw passing the ball, cutting. Okay, they hit the open man. They hit open, this and that. And that's where we at now, where the AAU circuit, not quite like that. I wish D. Will was on so he can talk about this, because I'm sure he sees it a lot. And he could probably tell us the difference and what's wrong and how can we get better as U.S. citizens instead of trying to make the overseas guys come to America and make them be the superstars.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this question, because I guess, looking at it now, when we look at what Magic and Bird and Bernard King, all these legends of the NBA, and how good they were. What if the world had caught up to us at that time? Would they still be the legends that they are had basketball been introduced in Nigeria, in China, in Slovenia, and whatever, had the game been taken global like that? With their numbers, and would they still have all the championships? Because now, as we see, the game is different now that it's a world game and that there are more people involved. We don't dominate like that. Like I say, you look at the U.S. Olympic team now, we're taking time to get these guys to know how to play, to go play, because of the competition that they're going to face. What do you think would have happened when a couple of those 7-foot guys and whatever that grew and were athletic playing soccer over there? You saw what happened with Elijah one. He came over here and didn't play organized basketball till he got here, basically, and then became a Hall of Fame. So that's my point on what I'm trying to say. What would have happened had the world opened up before? Do you think that we still have the reverence for Magic, for Bird, for Isaiah Thomas, for anybody, all these guys? If they'd have been playing,
I would say this. I would say this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because I think you know better than I do. Magic, Bird, Jordan, Pippen, all these guys that's headlining your point. They weren't just superstars. They weren't just NBA stars. They were also guys that wanted to win. They were winners. I mean, they went tooth and nail to try to win. I mean, the difference that I see in today's game to back then is guys prided winning over everything, over stats, over everything. They wanted to win. And I think that even if the world would have opened up, they would have adjusted because they wanted to win. They wanted to win so bad that they would have adjusted. I mean, think about what Magic did when Kareem went down. I mean, he played center, went for 42 in the clinching game. Yeah. That's how bad he wanted to win, and he was not a scorer, not as a rookie. Yeah. I mean, he became that, but he wanted to win so bad that he would go do anything and everything he needed to do to get the Lakers to win. So I think with that being said, I think the guys back then had more pride in winning than they did having the best stats.
I can take that. That's a good point. I'll take that. Good point.
Yeah. All right, man. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into some ballers and busters. Go ahead and get the little roll there. And I'm going to go ahead and start this thing off with my ballers and busters. Go ahead and put your ballers and busters in the comments so we can keep this thing rolling. My baller this week, Hancock, goes out to... I've been going back and forth with this, trying to see who I'm going to give a shout out to. And I'm going to give it to Marcel Ozuna.
Okay.
And I was like, the Braves played the Phillies, played Arizona, went to the World Series, and they played Houston Astros. They won each series in the teams that mattered the most. And Marcel Ozuna is a big reason why the Braves are 11-5 right now. So shout out to Marcel Ozuna. You my baller this week for starting off this season with no off-season issues. Just straight balling, straight hitting the home runs and doing whatever you need to do to get us going while Ronald is trying to get back into his swing of things. So, Ozuna, you my baller this week. That's what I got.
All right. Well, big homie, this is a first for me, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. I got to give my baller to LeBron James. Basically had 2 triple-doubles, even though the second one wasn't quite a triple-double. He averaged that against New Orleans this week in back-to-back wins. First game, he was 28, 17 assists, and 11 rebounds. And he pretty much put his stamp on that game in the first quarter with, I think, 12 to 13 assists. And he just pretty much dominated them, man. And to see a guy whether there's speculation that he's enhancing his body with whatever. Well, if he's doing it, some other people need to do it too. But I got to give it to him right now, man. At 40 years old, playing away, and he was leaking gas. He was leaking gas oil last night, but he finished it up with 23 down and 9. For him to come in a must-win situation, for them to get in and not have to go throughout anymore and just be put themselves in the playoffs. Now, maybe it'll be short-lived. We don't know for sure, but it looks that way playing against Denver, which is the best team in the league. But for him to get his team and the way they played down the stretch, LeBron James is my baller this week.
All right, I think cuz y'all kind of in the same vein right there.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I don't know if they're gonna beat Denver though, cuz.
Yeah, and Dad said his baller was Zion. He gave everything he had last night. Might have been a different outcome if he would have finished.
I agree. I think they would have won because, like I said, LeBron was leaking oil. You could see it. He was slowing down. He couldn't finish at the rim. Lady left a couple of balls short, and Zion was coming. He had found that groove. I hate he got hurt. It's speculated. Well, they just said he won't play in the next game, so it's gonna be tough. So anyway, we'll see what happens.
All right, now it's time for the busters. Go ahead and put your busters in the chat so we can go ahead and read them all. I'm trying to see which way I was gonna go with this one this week.
Okay.
And I'm still I think I'm gonna use one as my boy stop. So baller busters and my boy stop.
All right.
I think I'm gonna go with yeah, I'm gonna go with the guy, the reporter who asked Don Staley this idiotic question about transgender after she won the championship and went undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, when is it gonna stop, bro? I mean,
yeah, that wasn't time to ask her that question.
This is not. Listen, sometimes you got to pull that badge and pull the access and just say, look, we can't. You can't come back no more. After winning the championship, after going undefeated.
Yeah.
And let me add to that. And for the media, and listen, I'm good on, listen, I ain't taking nothing away from Caitlin Clark. Nothing. I ain't taking nothing away. The girl can ball. I done seen some other females who can ball too. So she hadn't done anything that I've never seen before. Now, just because the hype machine has gotten behind her and they trying to capitalize off of the hype. I mean, she's good, but I mean, when Raven Johnson decided that 18 points you scored in the first quarter, when she decided that she wanted to play some defense hand, Westlake High School went to work.
Yeah, she shut it down.
Yeah, you saw how good Caitlin Ward did, didn't you?
Yeah, she shut it down. Ain't no doubt about it.
She was taking her ball. She was in her grill. But just like you said, she was on Saturday Night Live and she lost. Yeah, what you say? Nobody from South Carolina didn't get invited to the audience.
No, they ain't come to the audience.
Come on, man. We can't. We got to stop that. Do you know how hard it is to go undefeated?
Oh, ain't no doubt.
With a brand new starting five,
right?
You lost 6 you lost your top 6 players, including your starting 5, and you retool that into a undefeated season.
And
Come
kept
on,
it
man.
moving like it wasn't nothing.
Yeah, where's the respect for Don Staley, man? Come on, man. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Where's the
Agreed.
respect for Don Staley?
Agreed.
Come on, man. I mean, we choosing an individual over team accomplishment. That's what's wrong with the world now. We feeding into this social media era where when it's hot, it's hot. You got to jump on and get on board and wada. Well, hey, what's the team? What's the point of having? Why do we might as well just play 1-on-1 and not even have a team, because you don't even appreciate a team accomplishment now.
Right.
Yeah, this is that. So to the reporter and to the hype machine, we got to do better at marketing team sports. But that's my buster. Reporter and the hype machine.
My buster, man, and this is a tough one, but I got to give it to Klay Thompson, man. Klay was 0 for 10.
Yeah, I was going. He was in my run, but go ahead.
Yeah, maybe his swan song as a Warrior, gonna be a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest shooters we've seen in NBA history. But you can't go 0 for 10 in a game that you needed to alleviate some pressure from Steph. You go 0 for 10. That's bad. It's time to put your head down and get to the rim. Get something in the basket. Do something. You 6'8". Get the ball to the basket. And I know you had some deficiencies with the torn ACL and the torn, Achilles tendon, but you played now. You're 2 years removed from those injuries, and you have to find a way to get the ball in the basket when you're needed like that. You got to be the second scorer on that team, and for him to go 0 for, Big Homie, he scored 0. So
0.
0. So he scored as many as I scored last night, Big Homie. So I got to give it to him. My bust is Klay Thompson, man.
And I noticed you said he was one of the greatest shooters that we've ever seen. And from my English literature, seen is a passing word.
Yeah, we have seen. We have seen. Yeah, we have seen. That's proper English, and that is proper grammar. That is the proper respect I'm going to pay, because we have seen. It's over, I believe. And I know we'll probably touch on watching one of the greatest dynasties we've seen in sports. And I had one other question. I want to ask you this right now. As we look at this probably being the swan song, that's it for this configuration of the Golden State Warriors. What other teams have fit together as perfectly as Draymond, Klay, and Steph? When you look at teams in the past, and we think about the big three in Boston of Bird, McHale, and Parrish, how they seamlessly fit together. What other pro sports or teams like that can you think of that you put in that realm, whether they just match? When they had a third, you could say the Lakers with Kareem and Magic, maybe Worthy, but that was kind of Worthy came in. These people were from the start of the dynasty. Remember, Worthy came in after they won a title.
Mm-hmm.
So what can you think of other teams like that? I just thought it was kind of interesting when I was thinking about this being the end of Golden State. What other perfect fits were there?
Well, let's stay ready. Let's stay in Golden State with Run TMC.
Okay, that's a good one.
With Run TMC, where everybody knew they role, and Hardaway made sure that this person got off and this person got off. So it was, I mean, Mullen wasn't the most athletic guy,
right.
but for whatever reason, he seemed to get open shots like Clay, and he didn't miss. He wasn't missing many.
That's good. That's the good. I like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with, and I was going to say the 2004 Pistons, but that was more of a team effort.
Mm-hmm. More of a team.
That was more of a team effort.
Yeah.
But with them three in Golden State, yeah, it was seamless. You didn't know who's gonna go for Witt in and out of the week. And they had Marciulionis on that team too, coming off the bench to give each one of them breaks as needed.
Right.
And Chris,
I'm across sports lines with you. I'm across sports line with you. How about Emmett, Troy, and Irving?
I like that. Absolutely, yeah.
I didn't want to just put it in one sport. I was saying, what other squads can we look at? Like, I'm sure you want to think about Air Coryell a little bit in that respect too. You think about what they did.
I love Fouts and what they did, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it back to something that resides in my heart, and that's Hurley, Laettner, and Hill.
No doubt.
Hurley, Laettner, and Hill was another three guys that meshed and fit in perfectly, seamless in whatever they did. So I will go with that.
That's a good one. It just makes you think about it, man, how certain teams had just certain personnel that just, you look like they just knew where to be for each other and how to play, so I thought that was just something. It just crossed my mind thinking about when you see dynasties kind of come and come to the end, especially in that one, because that's been the most recent one, I guess. So,
Is there any way we can add anybody to Chris Corchiani and Rodney Monroe?
But who would that be? Yeah, I mean, that's a good tandem.
I don't know, but we can't leave out the Lethal Weapon 3.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 3 is a good one too. That's a good one.
Yeah, not leave out.
That is a good one. Yeah, I like that. No doubt. No doubt about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we. I don't ran out of.
Yeah, it'll be more that'll come to us. That was just something like I said that it crossed my mind earlier.
Oh, I got one last one.
Okay.
Ricky Henderson, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire.
Yeah.
Oakland A's.
Another good one. Yep, another good one.
So yeah, that's a good question, Han. You bring back some memories with that one. All right, man. Real quick, let's get to our boy stop. And I think we agree on this one. The boy stop for the week is Jontay Porter. This clown gets suspended a lifetime ban for allegedly gambling in his own profession. And a lifetime ban.
Lifetime.
Not 82 games, not a year, not 2 years. A lifetime ban, which means you can't even reapply.
Nope. He can't even reapply till he die. He got to die.
You see what I'm saying?
He got to come back. Yep. He got to come back to play.
Yeah. So I mean, this, bruh, come on, man.
Yeah, it ain't good, big homie.
Yeah, so that's my boy stop for the week.
Yeah,
that is my boy stop.
I can just tip my hat on that one. That's the one. I have no issues with that one. That is a boy stop. Definitely.
There's no way. And think about it, Han. And if you got people depending on his occupation, then
But he can take a loan from his brother.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
His brother in the NBA about to, won the championship last year. Maybe he can win another one this year. I don't know, man. It's dumb. That was dumb.
When you first heard about
it honestly doesn't surprise me. And I think I think it's happening more than what we think it is. I think people placing bets through other people. I just human nature. If you can make a couple $1,000 here or whatever, or get some inside information on this guy not have it tonight or whatever, hey, I believe, like I said, I've been telling you, it's happening, Big Home. I see some things go on. I play in Prize Picks every night, and you see people miss it by half a point, or go over by half a point, or needing one shot or one rebound, and they don't get it. I think it's a lot going into this, and gambling is prevalent, man. I believe it's happening throughout sports. It's probably been happening, but now that sports gambling has been legalized, and it's just, you can pick up your phone and place a bet and win $500-$600 a day, $5,000 today. It just is what it is. I just really believe that it's more prevalent than we think it is.
I'm just reading this because I just saw what Dad say he won 20,000.
Yeah, it said dude won 20 stacks.
Actually won $21,965. 13 bets wagering $54,000. And that's all he won?
He wagered $54,000 and only won 20. Yeah, he's stupid.
Out of 13 bets.
Wow. They shouldn't let him.
He needed to listen to the show. We could have got a better odds than that.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it right. He cheating and stealing. That's bad. He bet $54,000 and won $21,000. That.
It said the NBA.
That don't add up. That's stupid.
Yeah, it don't add up. It says here the NBA investigation also discovered that Porter placed at least 13 bets through an associate account during the 23-24 season, which he spent with the Raptors and the G League affiliation. Porter wagered $54,094 and earned $21,965.
Wow. It's not good,
bro. And he come from a good family. I mean, what are you trying to do?
I don't know.
I don't get it, hey. What going on?
I can't even explain it, Big Home.
So to be correct, $21,000 is what his winnings were after spending $54,000 in bets.
Right.
Based on this report. He wasn't
doing it right. No, he was not doing it right.
He needs to take a class.
Yeah, that ain't the way you do it.
And since he's banned from the NBA now, you think he'll get it right now? Well, he ain't gonna have no choice, right?
Time. Yeah, he got plenty of time. He got plenty of time. But now, he puts a little pressure on his brother because they got to look at him to say if his brother telling him anything. You know what I mean? His brother tell him, well, Joker ain't feeling good tonight, and I ain't feeling good tonight, so bet against us. You see what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
the scrutiny, man, it's crazy. I just don't see how you're able to stop it anyway.
Dad said he's the buster for the next 400K show.
There you go.
I hate Dad. Yeah, I hope we can get to that many shows for sure. But big homie, man, come on, man. That ain't cool there, bro. That's
Nah, it's gotta be better. You gotta do better than that. Gotta do better
man,
than that.
we gotta talk to these young boys, huh?
Somebody need to talk to him for sure.
Come from a good family. Your brother is a millionaire, but you decide to side hustle this.
Yeah, it don't make sense, man.
You blaming Porter, or you blaming the NBA for
I can't blame. I mean, it's a way of life now, man. Gambling is a way of life. It's been there. It's just now that it's prevalent and it's publicized. So I can't really blame him, because that's society. It is what it is. But like I said, I think it's more than just him that's doing it.
If he had a bigger name, let's talk about it. If his name was bigger, what would have happened?
They'd tried to not let it come out. You know, like they kind of pretty much squashed the Shohei thing. You know, I think had this been a lesser player, a player that didn't carry a whole country of people into your sport, I think Shohei would have been banned, because it's too close of a connection. You know, the gambling came out of his account. So like I said, with that being said, that's the reason that he's still playing and there's no issues with him going on. You know,
and we ain't heard nothing else about it, right?
If nothing but that the dude took the heat and said he did it. That Shohei had nothing to do with it.
Yep, his fall guy appears again.
There it is.
This is the way the international show the US how to be a fall guy for your guy.
Yeah. Somewhere Michael Vick saying, boy, I wish I had a dude like that. I'm telling you, shit. Mike Vick should have been hanging out with Shohei's interpreter. He's been good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Then the dogs would have been able to understand Japanese.
Yeah, they said dogs are a delicacy over there, though, big home.
Oh, okay. All right, man. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our round table discussion. All right, man. Before we even get this thing started, Hawks play tonight in the play-in game. What do you expect? Is Trey and DJ playing together tonight?
Yeah, that's what it said, man. I don't know what to expect, because they kind of seesawed back and forth the last few games. Trey played, and then DeJounte was on. I think they played together last time out, but I don't know how well it worked out. But
Bob texted me and said, Bob texted me and said Trey must be back. Hawks gave up 157.
Yeah. 157, but Indiana, they said they set a record playing the Hawks this year. They scored 150, I think, 2 or 3 times against the Hawks. 150 plus points in each game. That's crazy. I mean, that's no defense, big home. You're not even, that's just, we just in the wreck playing pass and just run up and down the floor. I mean, kick somebody, trip them, do something. 157 points. Yeah, that's crazy. That was bad. So we'll see tonight. They're playing the Bulls, and from what I see now, man, they're letting these guys play physical. When I watched the playoffs, just like they did in the NCAA, I don't know if you paid attention, but I did. It was so much physicality in the college tournament. And it's kind of carried over. They look like they're swallowing the whistle a lot here in the NBA now. They're letting them bang. last night's game with Golden State, man, there were about 3 or 4 different plays where it was so physical, man. You were looking for the whistle and the flag to be thrown, not just the whistle blown. You looking for a tackle or something, man. It was crazy. So just watching the physicality is, I think it's entertaining though, because it lets them play. And as long as you calling it like that on both sides and no phantom whistles, I'm good with it.
You good with it?
I'm good with it. As long as nobody's getting killed, like clotheslined and all that. Physical play, a little nudge here or whatever, I'm cool with that. Just don't blow the whistle at the end of the game like what happened in a women's game with that, what they call was illegal screen. When you letting them play all game, and then don't had a whistle blow that and determine the outcome. If you're gonna let them play, let them play.
Yeah, I agree. All right, big homie. Let's go ahead and jump into some of these questions that you had to ask.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk about the Pelicans Lakers game last night. You said LeBron was leaking, Zion was coming at him. What did he end up with?
Zion went over. I think he had 40, didn't he?
Let me see.
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he was. If he didn't, he was close. He was balling.
Yeah. Surprised the Lakers pulled it out.
Going into it, I thought it was going to be hard for the Lakers to win back-to-back road games like that, and I thought New Orleans was going to beat them, honestly. But then as the game went on at first, I said, well, no, they don't have it. And for some, it flipped, and Zion started going to the basket, and they had no answers to stop him. And when they tied it up, I said, well, they got him. I thought they had the Lakers. But when, they say he hurt his leg, or either hurt his leg or he got the call from the stand saying it's time for you to sit down, Lakers need to move on. I don't know, one or the other. Something happened because it wasn't. I don't know if you ever watched Which Way Is Up, but you remember Richard Pryor would see that ring shine, and he knew, okay, you guys get back to work. It was like, okay, Zion, you're doing too much. You're supposed to lose. We can't afford to have Steph and LeBron out of the playoffs. So I'm sitting here, I'm half facetious on this thing, but it just, the move he did to me, I was trying to see where he was in. He walked off the floor like he just, how he walked. It wasn't like he was limping or came up lame. He just stopped and he was hurt, and that was it.
What they do in the stands to let him know it's time for him to stop?
They shine their ring. Zach, he messing with the church's money, baby. He messing with the church's money. You gotta sit down, baby. Sit your fat ass down. We got to keep this thing going.
Yeah. So the way the Golden State played last night, is it almost like watching Tiger Woods play in the Masters?
Last night you could see it was dejection in their faces, and it was almost like they knew and could see the finality of it. I think one thing that's not stated enough and said, they're in the play-in game and they could have been in the playoffs. Think about how they played down the stretch and how they played after after Draymond's suspension, and then after the All-Star break. He missed 21 games and they went 10 and 11. Let's say they go 15, in was it 15 and 6? They're in the playoffs. A lot of times people were talking about how Draymond cost them titles. He cost them a shot at the playoffs this year. I'm not saying they would have won the title, but I think they would have been comfortably in the playoffs had he played all year. So he not only has cost them a title in the Cleveland series by getting suspended, he also cost them Jordan Poole, who they had drafted and cultivated the talent to be to go and become that third scorer that he would have been last night. Think about it. They missed his 20 or whatever he was getting last night. They needed him. So you lost him. You called KD what you call him. He left, whether he was going to leave or not. So with as big a plus or benefit that you've been as a player with Golden State, you've also cost them. And you have to be real about both things. But 4 titles is 4 titles, and you can't really poo-poo that. But just think about, like I said, I think they're in the playoffs. Had he not been suspended, the games he suspended this year.
I dig it. All right, let's get to your questions. You have them written down. You want me to read them out?
Yeah, I got them. I got it right here. You ready for it? You gonna read it? You want me to read it?
Go ahead. You got it.
All right, first one, and people at home, play along with us. Should Giannis play again this year? What say you, Big?
Yeah, they should save Giannis if they're going to save anything from this debacle of a decision making of this year by firing Adrian Griffin first, and then deciding to pair up with Damian Lillard and trading away your defensive guy, Drew Holiday. I mean, come on, bro. This is so. Your only saving grace is to not let Giannis play, to make sure that he gets fully healthy, so you can at least reset and go back at this again next year. Because let's go ahead and admit it. You blundered this year up with these bad decisions. Dame and Giannis hasn't worked. And when you did have a coach who was in place, who had won 30 games at the time and only lost 13, and you fire him because he's trying to make them play better because he's hard on them, and your excuse is, well, he doesn't get along with the team. Yeah. The only saving grace is that Giannis has already got a ring with Milwaukee, and if you want more, you need to make sure that he's healthy and fully recovered before anything else. So yeah, you need to sit him out for the rest of the year.
That's the biggest thing I see. That last thing you say, I do agree with you on your points you made, but the biggest thing is we've seen this movie before with Kevin Durant. So why even risk it and have him have to maybe miss a full year next year by bringing him back and let him ripping the ACL up or whatever? You make sure that thing is fully healed, man, and you just rehab him the rest of the year. There's no reason to play him. I agree with you. You got a title with him. I wouldn't play him. All right, my next one. Is this the last time we see Golden State as we've known them with Steph, Clay, and Draymond because of the loss in the play-in?
So my question is the last time we've seen them play at a high level, or this the last time we see them in the same uniform? Because the first one, that was going on last year. But the second part of that is the same uniform. Yeah, this is it.
You think it's over?
Clay is a free agent. Draymond continues to wear out his welcome. And like I told you in the text, they both help Steph get off and do the things that he's able to do and now Draymond can't make a shot, Clay can't make a shot, and they don't have a bench. They don't have a third scorer. They all out of sync. This looks like the Bad News Bears compared to what we've seen them and how we've seen them operate. It looks like the bad news.
Yeah, I think the league. Yeah, I think Father Time and the league caught up with him because you can see small ball doesn't work anymore because they can put length on Steph and beat him up now. You can see it. And he can't get away. You know, he's older. He can't get away from him, and he's turning the ball over. So I agree with you, big homie. I don't know. The only thing that would keep them together, I believe, is if Clay takes that $20 million pay cut. And from what I understand, the ownership wants to get out of the luxury tax. So even if they come back together, they can't bring in anybody to help them be what they need to be. You know, it's been said, well, if the Clippers don't advance, that Paul George might be available. I can see him helping them, but I don't know if they want to go into the luxury tax to bring a player like that in. So I'm with you on it. I think it's over. I think it's a wrap. Yeah. All right, number 3. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, number 3. He may not be league MVP, but Jalen Brunson may be the most important player to his basketball team. What say you?
To his basketball team, yeah, since Julius Randle is out. Let me
rephrase that. When I say to his basketball team, I mean as any other player is to their own basketball team. So if you took the whole NBA, is he the most important player? Like, yeah, if you take him off his team, or if you take Shai Gilgeous off his team, or you take Luka off his team, or whatever, if you take Jalen off his team, is he the most important player if you looked at everybody is to their own team?
When you put it that way, I will still have to say no. Definitely not over Luka and over Shai. And I don't even think he's as important as Ant-Man in Minnesota. I think what has happened is he's in the mecca of basketball, which is in New York. And they are starving for somebody to get them out of basketball hell that they've been in for, what you call it? Basketball
purgatory.
Yeah, that. So, and no, he's not. And listen, don't get me wrong. He's a talented player. He's good. But to make him the most important piece of any team, if you go around the league, no, I don't think so. The reason why Dallas is the team to watch is because Luka has found a Batman and found some defense that goes along with what he's got going on offense. And Luka doesn't have the pressure of scoring 40, 50 points when he got Kai. He just said the other day, as long as I got Kai, listen, I'm good.
And so, but see, that's my point on what I'm saying when we talk about Brunson. Brunson got to score 30 a night. He got to score. So I'm not arguing your point. I'm just saying what you're saying right there kind of leads to why I asked the question. Because when you look at their roster, who else is a prolific scorer for them? Like you said, the reason I told you about Dallas over a month ago when they made those trades, I said, watch them. They've been my dark horse. I told you that. And it was because you got two guys in Kyrie and Luka that can get you 40 a night. It don't matter. They can get you 40. But now you got defense to where it's different when you look at what happens in Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix got three guys that can score a lot of points. But those same three guys got to be part of the best defensive players on their team, which takes a lot out of them. Kyrie and Luka don't have to be that. They just have to play some defense, but they got guys that go out and do the dog work. So that's why I was asking. Brunson got to score 30 a night. I mean, and he can't come off the floor at all. I mean, you look at it, he can't come off the floor. Him and Hart and DiVincenzo, they play mass minutes every night. But I'm not trying, like I said, I'm just putting stuff out there.
I would just say that he may be the most needed piece to any team, but not the most important piece.
Okay.
He's the most needed piece because he is needed. Towns is back in Minnesota, and you see how the guys in OKC has rallied around Shea. So he's not needed as much. Right. And we talked about Dallas and Luka and what defense has done and having Kyrie there as well. So he's not needed as much. But
I think that's why I would say I may have used the term valuable, but you saying what I mean when I say value and needed. That's in the ilk of what I'm saying. He's needed so much. That's why he's valued to his team.
He's the most needed out of all of the NBA because of injury and because he's in New York. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, the best thing that may have happened. Best thing may have happened to him was Julius Randle going down and them putting the ball in his hands and taking those 17 to 20 shots away from Randle. Now he gets really him and DiVincenzo, and they've taken off since then. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in the playoffs. I want to see if he can continue.
Yeah, he's the most needed. I would say that.
Okay.
And number I'm not 4 saying is the words of me what's calling, but
okay,
we good on it.
Okay. Is Dame one and done in Milwaukee?
Portland won this all day. Hey, have you seen the interview with Marshawn Lynch and on Uncle Shay when he said what he did when he went over to the sideline, what he did to Pete Carroll when he didn't get the ball at the goal line? Did you see that interview?
I did see the interview, but I can't remember what he said he did.
Marshawn said he went over to the after he figured out that he rushed through a pick. After he knew he was getting the ball, and they sent him out to the flat and this and that, and by the time he turned around, he was like, "Ain't nobody throwing me the ball." And he looked up, and they were cheering, and he was like, "Oh man, they threw a pick." He said he went over to the sideline and looked at Pete Carroll, didn't say nothing to him, and looked at him and gave him the biggest laugh ever. And so this is what Portland is doing to Dame. They like, you got what you wanted. You didn't go where you wanted to go, but you got out of Portland. And now that you out of Portland, so, Dame is, if he's not one and done, he's going to regret this.
Do you think he ends up in Miami next year?
If he want to win, that's the best place that's the best place for him.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to still make a move to get it.
Listen, Han, I think we underestimate the power of chemistry when it comes to sports. What's up, Maceo? What's going on, bro?
Maceo.
Cuz in the building. What's going on, man? Yeah, so I think we underestimate the power of chemistry when it comes to sports. And that chemistry, I think you said it first. I don't know if this gonna work. I don't know how it's gonna work.
I did. I told you. I said it was not gonna work. It couldn't have. It just wasn't gonna happen. I didn't see it. And I was right on this one. I'm not right on everything, but this one I saw because it changed what you do. You took away a guy, wing defender, that defended the best wing player on the other squad, Drew Holiday. You took him out of the equation, and you thought bringing Dame in, you'd have a closer, and you'd be able to cover his shortcomings. It happened. It's made them worse. Now, true enough, they were 30 and whatever before they fired their coach, so something was working. Whatever was working. And they've been in the toilet ever since they made that move. So maybe they know that. Maybe it was a stupid organization.
Here's your question right here.
No, they done. They done? They might as well not even play this first round. Yeah, they done. They are done. They cooked.
All right, Dez. I think Dez had both. I couldn't have said it better myself, Dez.
Yep.
No doubt about it. Because it was the defense that won you the title, right?
They wing defenders. Being able to defend helps, man. But they thought having somebody to close games. But the reason you got to close is because you're in the league. You understand? That's in a baseball term. You bring your close out there to what? Finish that game, all right? And you can't get to that point now. So it's not working.
In order to close, you got to be leading
not
at the end.
Yeah. So this is a wrap. And now you got to worry about is Giannis going to be happy enough to stay there? Is he ready to move on? Because they can force it. He can force his way out. If he looks at this organization and say that this is probably the ceiling, we did what we had to do. I got your title. I'm ready to move on. He can move on.
What about? Well, maybe we need to check with his brother and see if his brother ready to leave.
Well, whoever would take his brother, I'm pretty sure that'll go hand in hand with him. If they willing to take his brother. And I think probably Giannis paying his salary out of his stuff, so it is what it is.
Hey, and look, this is what it is. Dames play zero defense.
Exactly.
But by right hand, he didn't come to Milwaukee to play defense now.
No, he didn't. He came to shoot it.
That ain't what
and he ain't been having trouble shooting it though. Right. Well, he ain't really been doing that since the All-Star break. He was held in the 3-point competition, but he left his game. He left that at the show.
Mm-hmm. All right, Big Home. What else you got for me?
Yeah, last one. Should the Suns be broken up if they don't at least make the NBA finals? Not the conference finals, whatever, but at least make it to the finals.
And I don't care if they lose in the first round, second round, it don't matter. The construction of that team and who's headed that team is not good. So it ain't even got to get to the finals.
Let me ask you this. Had they gotten Drew Holiday instead of Bradley Beal, how good would they be?
They'll probably be a little better. I take the under a little more than the over.
Okay.
But yeah, the Suns are, as Marlon said, they cook, bro.
Yeah, I think you got to break that up. That's my point. I think you break that up. Even if, to me, you break it up anyway. I think next year those three are owed $150 million in salary next year going into the season. So I don't know what you're going to be able to put around them if you're paying them $150 million.
Yeah, I agree.
But that was the last one. That was the last question.
You got one?
Yeah, that was it.
right, with that being said, big homie, I got to bring it back. People been asking me about it.
Okay.
They say, "Hey man, what going on with your?" I said, "Listen, man, let's let's get this basketball season out the way, and let me at least feel good about the Braves before we start." So, big homie, with that being said, it is time to bring back the SRT Fun Bag. Yes, well, now I gotta find it on my email. Man, I get so many emails. It's a shame. All right, here we go. I got it. All right, big homie, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, y'all play along with it. Just to give us a little context. All right, big homie. The first question is this. I think Slim said he go participate. You participate, Slim? Oh,
yeah, Slim. I said, what's up?
All right, the first question is this. Which would you rather? Free food or free travel for the rest of your life? And let me put it in context. Free food means you get a shelf. Free travel means hotels and airfare you ain't got to worry about.
Give me the free travel, big homie. I don't even enjoy food like that no more. Yeah, our food just for nourishment now. I don't even enjoy it no more.
Okay. And you saying that because you said you don't even enjoy it no more, huh?
Nah, food. I don't eat chicken wings no more. I don't eat certain fried chicken no more. So it's just nourishment now.
All right, cool. And y'all go ahead and come in on that. Eat, and he said, Hancock, eat the lid now.
That's all it is. It ain't even fun no more.
And they said, Dad say travel. Marla say, give me travel. Oh, E-Dub.
E-Dub.
He said travel. He don't mind paying for food. Oh, look at Myra. Free travel. Okay.
Free travel, man.
Everybody
Free
come
travel. That's what's
travel.
What's
I guess I got to get my answer. If I'm going to get a shelf, I don't even really like traveling, to be honest with you. But if I'm going to get maybe it's because I'm by myself. But if I got the choice between having a chef with cooking in my way, I'm going to make sure I eat healthy and eat right. So I'm taking free food for the rest of my life. That's going to be the bulk of my spending anyway. Yeah, I agree. Travel expenses are so high. So, all right, second question. What do you think should be free that we pay for today? What do we pay for today that you think should be free?
Education, big homie. Education.
I'm with you on that. Yes, I'm with you on that. Education. Education should be free, period. Somebody said healthcare. I asked somebody earlier.
That too.
Marlon said water. You mean water that we drink or water that we actually pay for, like the water bill? So I mean, I think I got a award out of that too. Look, they all in my business. Say I already got a shelf. They all up in my business, right? Marlon said the water bill should be free.
I heard that.
E-Dub say healthcare should be free. Yes, sir. All right, cuz I'm gonna have to get to that later. Dad said he agreed healthcare should be free. All right, third question. I'm not sure if you care about this one too much, Big Homer, but if you had a free gift and you got two options, and the free gift is a iPhone 16 Pro or a Google Pixel 8 Pro, which one would you take?
Whichever one can get Netflix, Big Homie, it don't matter. Whichever one can get Tubi, I'm good with it. If I can get my Tubi and Wi-Fi, I'm good, Big Homie. Yeah, I'm
All
good.
right,
As long as I watch
yes,
TV.
you think healthcare should be free. I agree. Healthcare should be free, Big Homie. All right, but we back on that. So you said it don't matter. You said it don't matter as long as it get Tubi. Well, Big
Yeah, as
Homie,
long
I'm
as
not
it
an
get Tubi, I'm
iPhone.
good.
I'm not an iPhone guy, so I'm gonna have to go with the Google Pixel. And Google Pixel would be. Look, my phone talking now. I don't know. I done said something to my phone. Cuz said neither. He like
Cuz he with that Samsung.
he wanted Samsung. Myra said she an Android girl.
Yeah, I
Dad
got
said he
Android too,
iPhone.
Big Homie.
Yeah. All right, so let's one want to have that debate. But okay. I'm sure y'all go like this. And Han, I'm pretty sure you just go answer this because you don't eat meat no more. And I had to throw some food in there. So just answer this as if you were still eating food. Or what do you
Okay.
dream about? Keep one, bench one, cut one. And for those who are listening for the first time and trying to understand how we do this fun bag question, I'm gonna give you three options. I want you to keep an option, I want you to bench an option, I want you to cut an option. So with that being said, keep one, bench one, cut one hand. I got Outback, Longhorn, and STK Steakhouse.
I think the only one that probably have eaten that is Longhorn, so I guess I got to keep Longhorn. I bench Outback, and somebody had to show me where STK is. So I guess I have to pick that one.
That's a big fancy steakhouse downtown.
Okay. Well, I want to go with the fancy, and I don't eat none of them. So put STK in. I'm gonna keep that. If it's the most fancy, that's the one that costs the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with STK first. Then I'm gonna keep that. But bench Longhorn or cut Outback.
You'll cut Outback.
Damn a blooming onion.
All right, so let me see what E-Dub got. E-Dub got that long money though, so he keeping Longhorn. He bench it out and he cutting. I'm a regular dude, so okay, I got you. But they out the chain. Definitely cutting Outback. Well, look, I'm gonna be like this. I'm cutting STK because I've never been. I'm keeping Outback because they the only one said my bone-in pork chops now, and I'm a bench Longhorn. I still say Longhorn still probably got the best, one of the best Caesar salads and loaded baked potato. Cuz said cut everybody else, but he keeping STK.
Okay.
All right, let's see what Myra say. She got that long money. Keep STK, bench Longhorn, and cutting Outback. Oh my goodness. Can't be cutting Outback. All right, Big Home. I'm sure you go like this one. I got one that's right up your alley. Keep one, bench
All
one,
right.
cut one. Monopoly, Uno, or your favorite game on your mobile phone.
Had to be keep Uno.
Keep it Uno.
Bench
You the Uno
Monopoly.
king.
Yeah, bench Monopoly. And I guess I'll be cutting my favorite game because I don't even have one on my phone. That's favorite game. It take up too much space. I have to have my
Okay.
Tubi.
Gotta have your Tubi.
Gotta have Tubi.
All right, let me see what everybody got to say. They must be here. But Monopoly, Uno, in your favorite game. All right, here we go. Uno has started arguments at the house. Your boy Dez he just added one. Then he keeping spades, bench Uno, and cut Monopoly. Oh, that must be on his phone. Oh, they playing spades on the phone, huh? That's what they do. Okay. E-Dub say he keeping his golf game, bench Uno, and cut Monopoly. Okay. Keeping the game on the phone, bench Uno. How y'all gonna cut Monopoly? That's the family reunion game. You can't keep cutting Monopoly. Yeah, say spades on the phone. Oh, okay. I don't know what Hancock just something happened. Hancock done took off on us. Monopoly take too long. You play Monopoly to build camaraderie with your family members and friends. Yeah, Monopoly will take a long time. I feel you, Dad. That's what I'm talking about. A game of spades is the family reunion. Absolutely. All right, man. I gotta wait on Hancock to jump back in here. Let's see what old Trey saying. Okay. I see you, Trey. Hand just disappeared on me. All right, let's see. My last one for tonight. Well, I got two more questions. There you go. Well, yeah, we waiting on him. My last question is this. Well, next to last question. Is name something you do today that you did as a kid. Name something that you still do today that you did as a kid. Okay, I tell you what I did. What I do today that I still do today as I did as a kid. And that's watch old school TV like Leave It to Beaver, Andy Griffin, Gomer Pyle, all those TV shows, The Incredible Hulk, all those TV shows I watch. So, Dez, you understand what I mean? He said ride bikes. And then my main man Hancock is back in the building with us.
Yeah, someone must kick the plug out or something, big homie.
Nah, ain't no thing. So my next question was this: name something that you do today, that you still do today, that you did as a kid. And mine was watch old school TV shows like Bonanza, Big Valley, Green Acres, Gomer Pyle, Leave It to Beaver, Incredible Hulk, things of that nature.
Only thing I can say that I did with other kids was still watch sports, big homie. Other than that, you about to put me out the pasture, baby.
Okay. Cuz said he still eat fried bologna sandwiches. Oh my goodness. E-Dub said he still take naps as an adult.
Lost it again.
And he dunk his cookies in milk. All right. Myra says she still take baths. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well,
ain't much I can do right now, big homie.
Yeah. So you still watch sports, huh?
Yeah, just sports fanatics. About it, man.
All right, big homie. I'm gonna let you go on this one. This is gonna be the last one for the night. And everybody, you got 30 seconds to answer these questions. That's all. Just 30 seconds. My last question of the night, Ann. If you had to create a concert and you had to get a host, a comedian, a R&B singer, and a rapper, who would you choose? And then tell me how much you would charge for the concert.
A host. Let's see.
A host, comedian, R&B singer, a rapper, and then tell me how much you would charge.
Okay. Man, that's something. Host would be, man. You put me on the spot, big ho.
Well, I mean,
see, my host. I want my host to be funny, so it can be dead or alive. I'm bringing Bernie Mac to be my host.
Okay.
Bernie Mac to be the host.
You only get one dead person.
Okay, one dead person. All right, so
everybody else got to be alive.
All right, so the host will be Bernie. You say a rap.
The host, comedian, rapper, and a R&B singer.
Comedian. Man, I might have messed up because I took Bernie as that. So
can you want Bernie to be your host and your comedian?
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, well that's my host and my comedian.
Okay.
My rapper, man, all my favorite rappers dead, big homie.
I know you were going with DMX.
I tell you, all of them go. I would. All right, it's gonna be entertaining. So I'm bringing Yeezy, Kanye.
Okay.
Cause ain't no telling what might go with him as a rapper. All right, so I got.
You got your host, you got your comedian, you got your rapper. Now, who's your R&B singer?
What was the last category?
R&B singer.
Maxwell. I don't know, big homie. I don't listen to R&B nothing much no more. Let's go, Maxwell.
All right, Maxwell. All right, how much you charging for the concert?
I don't know. Don't sound like too many people gonna be there. So probably about. I don't know, big homie. Oh man, I should have went with Chappelle. I'm gonna have to charge a couple thousand, big homie.
A couple thousand?
Cause it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take a lot to bring Bernie Mac back. He did.
You want to switch it to Chappelle
then? Yeah, it's still Bernie's still gonna cost because he's still dead in one of my spots, so it don't matter. Yeah, I still say a couple stacks.
All right, here we go. I'm going with my host is gonna be Kevin Hart. No, man, not Kevin Hart. I'm sorry, Cat Williams. Cat Williams will be my host. Bruce would be my comedian. Sade will be my R&B singer. And of course, Ballin' G gonna be my rappers, baby. Yes, sir. Ballin' G gonna be my rapper.
I'm coming to your show.
Yeah, there you go. And we charging $150.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
We gonna go with $150
and
for
yours
the.
cheaper.
We going $150 for the minimum, $250 for the max. Oh, look at E-Dub. He said he making all the concerts free and getting sponsors and donating the proceeds to cancer research. My man. He always doing something good for the community. Cuz say Mac, the host and comedian, he charging $250. All right now. Hold on, let me see what Myra said. Nick Cannon, the host. Bernie Mac, R&B singer Babyface, rapper Ludacris. The cost is 50 cents. I mean 150.
150. Yeah, that's good. I go to her show.
Dad said he at my show. He don't even need to come in. He at my show.
You did.
Yes,
I heard that.
All right, man. Let's go wrap it up, bro. I mean, we done had fun tonight. I thought Bob would go join us and holler at us. Maybe we can get E-Dub on next week if the Hawks still playing, or if not, we'll still get him on and see what he said about
let's just
this.
get him on. I don't know if they're gonna be playing.
Yeah, let's get E-Dub on and see what the trade, the latest on the trade, DeJounte and all this. And they talking about now, would you trade Jalen Johnson and Trey for Giannis? I heard that rumor today, but look, I don't start them. I just talk about it once they out. So it is what it is. All right, man, we're going to shout out everybody who tuned in tonight. We sure appreciate it. As always, man, we sure appreciate everybody who. Shout out to one more thing, Han. I meant to give a ball award to. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard for the first time the Kendrick, Metro Boom, and Future single Like That. Boy, it's like that. So yeah.
Okay.
You might need to go listen to that.
Big Home, before you go into further, did you hear why Drake went in on Ja Morant?
No, I didn't.
Did the push-up? It was
Now,
about
what'd
the
he
boy
say?
mama that played for the Charlotte. It's about the basketball player for the Charlotte Hornets. They both were dating his mama.
What?
Yes, look it up. In 2000, the boy was at, and Drake was dating. He got blown up. He got talked about. Well, Ja was supposed to hit him. I wasn't supposed to hit him. I mean, dating him or whatever. But the little thing back and forth in the beat. So this dude is a rookie in the NBA, and he playing against Ja Morant, who was dating his mom. Ain't that crazy?
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that one up. But you also looked that up. Yeah, you looked that one up too. It's called Like That.
Gotcha.
Metro Boom, Future, and Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Please look that up. All right, man. Those are my shout outs. Shout out to you too, Han, for coming on, doing your thing as always. I appreciate the questions. It was spot on. So go ahead and give me a shout out.
Yeah, shout out, Big Homie. Appreciate you letting me kick that on the show, man. It is what it is, but you know, we gonna ride this thing. Shout out to everybody who tuned in and stuck with us through. We had a few technical difficulties here. I don't know what I gotta do. I probably had to get a hard line in because I think I keep losing signal. But anyway, man, we'll be back in here with you next week to do this thing again. SRT for life, baby.
You already know. Dad say Kendrick got another one out on Drake. Okay. Whew, boy, they going back and forth. This beat thing going crazy. All right, man. Crazy. With that being said, we gotta get up out of here, man. It's time to go drink some coffee now. I'm already ate for the day, so no Waffle House for me. So I'm good to go. And with that being said, Han, let's roll.
Boogie, I'm headed home, baby.
It's your main man, H.O. from Bankhead. R.I.P. Moms and Pops. R.I.P. BC. And if you love the show,
tell them free.
And if you didn't,
Burning Mac, baby. Peace.
And we out. Peace.